A very good afternoon to you. This is TV Sapienza on Star Times Channel 260. Today is Thursday, the 28th of August, 2025. My name is Joe Igbo. In our news headlines this afternoon, the United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, has donated equipment worth over $11 million to the Nigerian government to strengthen vaccine storage capacity and improve immunization services across the country. Ondo has joined Imo and other states in banning graduation ceremonies for nursery, primary, and junior secondary school JSS 3 students, while also prohibiting the practice of compelling parents to buy new textbooks every academic session. The federal government and the Academic Staff Union of Universities ASUU are meeting today in an attempt to douse tension brewing in public universities over unmet demands. And the Chinese government has donated $1 million to the federal government's flood relief fund. Now the details of the news. The United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, in collaboration with development partners, has donated over 1,653 solar-powered refrigerators valued at about $11 million to the Nigerian government to strengthen vaccine storage capacity and improve immunization services across the country. At the handover ceremony in Abuja, UNICEF's Chief of Health, Dr. Maharajan Mutu, described the donation as a major milestone in revitalizing Nigeria's primary healthcare system. Dr. Mutu noted that the cold chain infrastructure remains the backbone of effective immunization, ensuring vaccines and other temperature-sensitive medicines retain their potency from storage to administration. According to him, the investment will expand storage facilities, particularly in hard-to-reach areas, and help reduce the number of zero-dose children by 50% by the year 2028, while stressing the need for continuous effort in equipment maintenance, logistics, and sustenance financing. Dr. Mutu commended Gavi, WHO, the MPHCDA, and the Federal Ministry of Health for their collaboration in expanding immunization coverage. He assured that UNICEF will continue to support Nigeria to ensure that every child has access to life-saving vaccines. Receiving the equipment on behalf of the federal government, the Executive Director of the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, Dr. Muyi Aina, described immunization as a critical component of healthcare delivery, adding that the refrigerators will soon be distributed to states based on identified gaps, disease burden, and the number of children yet to receive vaccines. The Anambra State House of Assembly has suspended the member representing Ayamelum constituency, Honorable Bernard Udemezue, for 3 months without pay over what he described as unparliamentary conduct. According to the resolution, Honorable Udemezue is barred from entering the assembly complex throughout the suspension period and is to tender a public apology to the Speaker, Somtochukwu Udeze, and members of the 8th Assembly within 5 working days through his official social media platforms. On the allegations linking the Anambra State government to the kidnap and murder of late Honorable Justice Azuka, the Assembly urged the Commissioner of Police and the Director of the Department of State Security Service to commence immediate investigations, noting that Udemezue may possess vital information to aid security agencies. The Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has directed that all point-of-sale or POS terminals in the country be geo-tagged within 60 days. The CBN said the move is part of measures to curb fraud and strengthen oversight of digital payments. It is also part of a broader plan to modernize Nigeria's payment system, improve consumer protection, and ensure that digital financial transactions are secure and fully traceable. Terminals operating outside their registered location will be flagged and non-compliant devices will be deactivated. The bank explained that the move will make real-time monitoring of transactions effective. Terminals failing to comply with the October 20, 2025 deadline will no longer be allowed to operate. Each POS device must capture and transmit its location at the start of every transaction with activity beyond a 10-meter radius of the registered merchant address automatically flagged. Licensed operators, including major banks and fintech companies like MoneyPoint, OPay, and PalmPay, are expected to register each terminal with a payment aggregator and provide precise merchant coordinates. The Anambra State House of Assembly has passed the Igbo Apprenticeship Bill into law, formally recognizing and regulating the traditional Igbo boy system. The law, which takes effect from September 10, 2025, seeks to promote entrepreneurship, create employment, and boost economic development in the state. According to the sponsor, Ejike Okechukwu, the bill provides a framework to guide apprenticeship, ensuring fair treatment of apprentices and setting minimum standards for training. The bill also establishes the Anambra State Igbo Apprenticeship Commission to keep a register of apprentices and handle disputes when they arise. According to the bill, the training period is not expected to exceed 7 years, while also defining the rights and responsibilities of both mentors and apprentices to ensure balance, fairness, and accountability. Ondo State has banned graduation ceremonies for nursery pupils and junior secondary school or JSS 3 students, and also prohibited the practice of compelling parents to buy new textbooks every academic session, describing the practice as unnecessary, exploitative, and a needless financial burden on parents. The Ondo State government stressed that graduation ceremonies should be limited to pupils completing primary 6 and senior secondary school or SS3, as these remain the officially recognized exit points in the state's education system. Edo, Imo, and Benue states had a few weeks earlier also abolished graduation ceremonies in kindergarten, nursery, and basic schools, as well as the use of customized books. According to the Ondo State Commissioner for Education, who disclosed this in Akure during a meeting with proprietors and proprietresses of private schools, the decision followed reports that some schools compel parents to spend huge sums of money on elaborate ceremonies, uniforms, and souvenirs for pupils. The commissioner stated that siblings of a pupil should be allowed to use the same instructional materials for a period of time to ease the financial burden on households. He further cautioned proprietors against lowering academic standards, warning that any school unable to meet the government's minimum requirements will be shut down. The federal government and the Academic Staff Union of Universities ASUU are meeting today in an attempt to douse tension brewing in public universities over unmet demands. Information from the Federal Ministry of Education indicates that the Minister of Education will share the meeting scheduled to hold at the Ministers' Conference Room, Federal Ministry of Education, Abuja today, Thursday. He will be joined by the Minister of Labor, representatives of the National Salaries, Income and Wages Commission, and the Solicitor General to meet ASUU leaders to examine how to finally implement the renegotiated 2009 FG ASUU agreement and related reports produced in the most recent round of negotiations. The meeting will be tasked with delivering a clear timetable for signature and phased implementation, according to officials. The move comes amid warnings from ASUU branches nationwide that their patience is exhausted after a renegotiation process concluded in December 2024 and formally submitted to government in February 2025. Organized labor in Imo State have commended Governor Hope Uzodimma for approving a new minimum wage of 104,000 naira for workers, describing the move as a gesture that would cushion the effect of current economic hardship. The governor announced the wage increase during a meeting with leaders of labor unions at the Government House of Owerri on Tuesday night. He disclosed that the state's minimum wage had been raised from 76,000 naira to 104,000 naira, while doctors' salaries rose from 215,000 naira to 503,000 naira, and those of tertiary institution lecturers from 119,000 naira to 222,000 naira, among others. Responding on behalf of the workers, the Imo State chairman of the Nigeria Labour Congress, Udemezue described the wage increase as a victory for the state workforce. He said Governor Hope Uzodinma has not only rescued workers from the economic challenges, but has also made Imo one of the highest paying states in the Federation. Similarly, the state chairman of the Trade Union Congress, TUC, Mr. Uchenna Ibe, commended Governor Uzodinma for the upward review of salaries. Former Rivers State Governor Rotimi Amaechi has disclosed his ambition to contest the 2027 presidential election on the platform of the African Democratic Congress, ADC. Amaechi made this known while speaking to journalists in Kano State after a meeting with a coalition of traders. The former Minister of Transportation vowed not to step down for any aspirant in the party's primary election. Amaechi also criticized the Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration, saying Nigerians were dissatisfied with its policies. According to him, hardship was biting harder across the country. He described himself as one of the most qualified contenders in the country. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu returned to Abuja, Nigeria's capital city, after a 2-week official trip to Japan and Brazil. The president's jet landed at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, in the early hours of today. Upon his return, Tinubu was received by top government officials, including the National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu, his Chief of Staff, Femi Gbajabiamila, the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, Nyesom Wike, the Chairman of the Nigerian Governors Forum, Abdul Rahman Abdul Razak, ministers and special advisors. The president left Abuja on Friday, August 15, 2025, and stopped over in Dubai, United Arab Emirates, before proceeding to Japan. In Japan, Tinubu attended the 9th Tokyo International Conference on African Development in the city of Yokohama from August 20 to August 22. Presidential spokesman Bayo Review made the disclosure. He also held bilateral meetings and met with the chief executive officers of some Japanese companies with investments in Nigeria. He later left Japan for Brasilia, the capital of Brazil, on a state visit following an invitation by the Brazilian president Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva. The Chinese government has donated $1 million to the federal government's flood relief fund, signing the support in Abuja with the Chinese ambassador, Mr. Yu Dunhai. The Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, Senator Abubakar Bugudu, expressed appreciation for the humanitarian gesture. Bagudu welcomed the intervention as a timely boost to the national relief efforts, emphasizing that it would complement the government's ongoing efforts to provide relief materials and rebuild the livelihoods of people in severely impacted areas. He assured that the grant will be managed within a transparent framework designed to maximize its impact. Speaking earlier, the Chinese ambassador to Nigeria, Mr. Dunhai, expressed China's empathy and solidarity with Nigeria, recalling that both countries recently faced the destructive impact of flooding. To end the Sapientia TV news at 1 p.m., a recap of the major headlines. The United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, has donated over $11 million worth of equipment to the Nigerian government to strengthen vaccine storage capacity and improve immunization services across the country. Ondo has joined Imo and other states in banning graduation ceremonies for nursery pupils and junior secondary school JSS 3, while also prohibiting the practice of compelling parents to buy new textbooks every academic session. The federal government and the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASUU, are meeting today in an attempt to douse tension brewing in public universities over unmet demands. And finally, the Chinese government has donated $1 million to the federal government's flood relief fund. That was the Sapientia TV news at 1 p.m. On behalf of the editorial and technical crew, I am Joe Igbo. Good afternoon and thanks for choosing TV Sapientia.